Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we are making an update on an Orchid Haul, and this is season number 4. This is part of the Orchid Haul Watch series, and I feel like we didn't do any updates on season 4 for whatever reason. And you are seeing a little bit of them here. I have them like all on my table. You can't really see everything, but it's okay. I'm gonna show you them one by one. I'm super excited because there are some very nice things to show you. I'm excited everybody is okay. First and foremost, all of the orchids from that haul are still with me. Many of them are about to bloom or have already bloomed. I'm gonna show you all of them today. So before we start, don't forget to give this video a like if you end up enjoying it, and why not subscribe? I post multiple times a week and it's completely free. But if you're feeling a little extra about it and you can and you want to further support the channel, do consider becoming a member and having access to some exclusive videos and even behind the scenes. You can also check out the affiliate links down below. You can check out our merch. We have beautiful orchid mugs at the moment, and also you can use the super thanks option below my videos. Right, so with that said, let's just go back. I was about to drop my phone. So let's go back to that video, and we're gonna take things in the exact same order. So I'm gonna show you somewhere on the screen, maybe on this side. I'm gonna show you how they used to look like and how they look now. So first orchid that I unboxed was the Cattleya, or Cattleya Chia Lin New City, and it's this girl right here. So here she is today. Let me show you like this so we have space for the old footage. This is her today. Now this is a rather young orchid, so I do not expect, or I didn't expect, any blooms or anything of the sorts, but she looks absolutely fantastic. She grew this growth, which is bigger than all the previous, so she suffered no setback. I have a very nice root system here, very strong orchid, but you know, with this one, I cannot expect flowers or buds or anything, because this is one of those big fluffy flowered cattleyas that grows tall and only blooms once a year and creates new growth once a year. So it's one of those that we need to wait around for, but I think she absolutely looks dashing, wouldn't you say? I think she grew very well, and I will have to say, as I did in that previous video, Orchid Garden, by the way, all of these orchids are coming from Orchid Garden in Poland. They have stepped their game up. I do not have rotting issues anymore from them because they sent their orchids dry. And this is the result. You'll see the result. And if I'm not mistaken, I ordered these in August 2023, July or August, so it's been 6 months since I ordered them. I think they look fantastic, as you will see as well. Next up, let's see, Epicattleya René Marqués Flamethrower. Well, can we see her? Maybe a little bit in the back here. This is her. I'm gonna show you the footage here. We have buds. Now she's a young lady, as you can see. She can grow taller than this, and this growth was, I do believe it was tiny when I purchased it, so I did not expect way too much from her. We only have 3 buds. This orchid can produce more than that, but considering she's a new orchid, I repotted it. That's my Orchidarium. Let's wait for it to finish watering. Give me a second now. Yes, she's a younger orchid. You know, she's not very tall. She's definitely mature enough to bloom. She has just been repotted, and all things taken into account, we have a beautiful root system that I can see. You know, we do have more roots in the pot. These are just poking out, and we have beautiful buds. We're gonna have her in bloom really soon. So again, very happy with the evolution of this one. I had this one in the past. I know how the blooms look like. It's one of my favorites. I think it's just so interesting. I'm trying to get closer to the table. I think the flowers are so interesting. You know, they only have a few colors, but when you see the flower, it looks like a rainbow. It has all of the beautiful colors of the rainbow somehow in those 3 to 4 colors that it actually has, because they're just so nice and so sweet. And you know, I love this orchid so much. I lost mine. I think it was due to thrips. Yeah, I think it was thrips. I lost mine. I felt so terrible about it because I love it, so I had to order it again last year, and look at her. Generally speaking, she's a very very resilient and robust hybrid, and I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna insert some photos or some footage of how the flowers look like if you're into more unique flowers, something that doesn't necessarily look like an orchid. That is the orchid for you. She's not fragrant though, but she blooms once a year. She's very robust, she grows tall, and I think she's a good looking plant. Even if it's not in bloom, I think you will enjoy it as a typical house plant. Righty. Next up, Dendrobium anosmum, a touch of class. Look at him. Now, it is February. These guys should be in their winter rest right now, but my environment doesn't work like that. My environment is warm very late in the season. Even in December in the daytime, it's still pretty warm. It's now that this growth completely matured, and it's growing the other way around because I have it hanging by the window like this, and the light is actually coming from this side. I know. I will make a different setup, I guess, for it in my new home. So the pseudobulb, the new growth, just matured now, which means now it's when the winter rest is starting. So maybe in 4 months or so, we're gonna have blooms. The blooms look like they're variegated. Variegated blooms, they don't really exist. So if an orchid is variegated, the blooms will not be variegated. This is not a variegated orchid, it's green, but the blooms have some white stripes that makes them look like they're variegated. That's why it's the variety a touch of class. Somehow it's more classy, I don't know, but the flowers are beautiful. But here he is, he's doing great. It's just that it's late in the season and we just matured the growth. Now the growth is smaller than the previous ones, which is absolutely to be expected because it went through the transport, I repotted it, it had to get used to my environment. 6 months, you know, it's not enough to have an orchid be at full capacity, especially a Dendrobium anosmum, which is a deciduous dendrobium. It has 1 new growth per year. It doesn't have continuous growth. It takes that winter rest. So I'm very happy with the evolution of him so far, even if the new growth is just not as big as the other ones. It is to be expected, but he looks dashing otherwise. Next, Cattlianthe Jewel Box Dark Waters. I think, is it this one with the weird cakey on top? Jewel Box Dark Waters. There she is. This is the weird little Cattleya that I showed you, produced another pseudobulb on top. Let me make room for the footage. I forgot last time. I hope I can squeeze in the footage. Yeah, there we go. It does have, instead of a flower spike here, it has a tiny little pseudobulb. What to do? But there is also a new growth here, which is larger than the previous one, and it looks great. It has a sheath. Do I see something? I don't think there are buds, but again, it's only been 6 months, you know, I'm not expecting way too much from these orchids. Their evolution is spectacular. As you can see, I was expecting more sit back than this, but no. And that's because they were, 1, shipped dry, 2, I got them in the warm season, and that's always better than the cool season to repot orchids and, you know, to receive them, and 3, you know, I took good care of them. There are no pests. That's major. So I'm really happy with how this one looks like as well. I want to get to the exciting one, which do you see? Oh yeah, you see it. It's in bloom. Oh, I'm so happy. So next up, this is exciting as well. Asconopsis Irene Dobkin. There she is. My baby. I had this one in the past. I cannot tell you how much I love the flowers on this one. I don't know why. They're so delicate. They have a delicate peachy color to them. The petals are round. Imagine a Phalaenopsis, a tiny Phalaenopsis that looks like a Vanda in shape. So a Vanda type and a Phalaenopsis. Yes, the combination can work. They're both monopodials, and genetically they can be mixed. There aren't many hybrids. I'm guessing it's a little tricky to mix them, but some hybrids exist. Some people have many problems with these hybrids. I did have 2 in the past that were not vigorous, not growing well. So maybe the mix is not as fortunate as other mixes, like other Cattleyas or Cattleya and Epidendrum. Those mixes were great. This I don't know, but I'm happy to tell you that we have a flower spike. Where is it? It's here. We have a flower spike right here. I cannot wait. I love this one to bits. It's not the easiest, and not that it requires all sorts of conditions that nobody can give. It's that it's just finicky. And really it doesn't look much different than how it looked like when I purchased it. It didn't grow all that much, and it did have some issues like with some of the leaves. I don't know, maybe something happened on transport. There is some mechanical damage, but it's okay. It overcame it and it grows very nice now, and we do have that flower spike and I'm very happy about it. I hope she does well for me now, because I would really like to have her in my collection for years to come. Next up, Cattleya Tsiku Eglantine coerulea crossed with aclandiae. It's this one. Don't be scared, we're good, don't worry. Yeah, it's this one. So this is an older pseudobulb and it looks a little scary yellow like this, but it's fine. You know how sometimes Phalaenopsis lose some of the older leaves? Well, Cattleyas do too. It just happens that the older leaves are on top of older pseudobulbs. So it looks a little scary, but it's okay. We have roots up top. I don't think we have a whole lot of roots. We do have new roots. There's a beautiful root going down here. But yeah, I do suspect this is not the most vigorous type of Cattleya, judging the parentage somehow. You know, the aclandiae, not the most vigorous thing you can have, to be fully honest. But I think it's okay. It matured this growth, and we do have another eye starting to form here. We have roots. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I suspect, though, that we don't have so many roots, and I should pipe down with watering this one because everything is dry. I need to water, and this one is still moist. You know what I'm saying? I should pipe down with watering that one. Next up, let's see. Phalaenopsis Lyndon mix Zebra 870. Here she is. We have all sorts of flower spikes on it. It took a little bit of a break. It was in beautiful bloom a few months ago, and I have footage with it. And we also grew a brand new leaf here, and yeah, everything works great. We also are producing another flower spike. This is a polychilous type of orchid, so it will hang on to its flower spikes and will rebloom from them for a few years. How many? You never know. So as long as the leaves are, the roots are in good condition and the flower spikes are green, no need to cut them on these orchids. They don't produce a whole lot of blooms at once. They have beautiful blooms, they smell nice, and this one was absolutely fantastic. I showed it to you many times during these months. Very good purchase. I love it so much. And indeed, it has a zebra-like pattern on the leaves, and the leaves have a wonderful contrast between white and pink. Next, okay, finally, the Potinara, which I'm sure it's a Cattleya now, Chian-Tzy, Goldenorange, Golden Boy. How sweet. How sweet is my golden boy? Bonus, he's fragrant. I did not know he's fragrant, and I was not expecting fragrance from such a tiny orchid. We make some room for the past footage here. Look at him. I could just hug him if I knew I wouldn't hurt him. So this, I think we have another tiny bud here. Right, so this orchid, I tried purchasing it before from Orchid Garden. It seems like Orchid Garden is the only place that has it, or that I have access to, let's say, that ships to my country. And I ordered it before, and back then it did not make the transport. I think I have it filmed somewhere. It was packed wet. It was back in the day when they were shipping stuff wet, which you never do with orchids. Not even in summer. Do not pack them wet. It's a recipe for disaster. They will rot, crown rot, stem rot, all sorts of rots you don't want. Never pack them wet. Well, they were packing them wet. And transport to my country is not fast. So I always craved for this orchid. And well, I decided to give it another chance and order it. And this time they packed their orchids dry. And look at him. He's the most beautiful peachy orange, translucent-ish color with a glorious yellow lip, and he smells, you know how he smells like, and I'm so happy, he smells like Sideria japonica. I cannot bloom Sideria japonica. I always have her around, but she's never blooming. I have one outside. Maybe that will trick her into blooming. I don't know, we'll see. I love Sideria japonica and the beautiful lemony fragrance it has, and I cannot rebloom it. This one smells, if not identical, then very similar to it. Maybe a little sweeter. No, it's a little bit sweeter, but definitely has a lemony scent to it. I'm so happy. because I was so bummed about the Cattleya and that I cannot really grow her well in this climate. Do you have sap on your flowers? I think it does. So I was so bummed about the Cattleya, and finding out that this guy is fragrant. It's mild, mind you, it's not gonna fill up the room, don't worry about that. It's just so nice. I'm so happy. He is my pride and joy. Righty. Oh, also he will bloom much better next time. This is the first bloom it ever had, so it's a first time bloomer, not only for me but for him as well. So it's gonna get better and better. And the last one, Cattleya Tangerine Fire Mini Sun. It's you. Well, this one has buds as well. Look at this. And it's a cluster bloomer because she has a million buds in here. Right, you'll have to excuse the difference in angles if there is one. My battery died and I had to change it. Right, so we were at Cattleya Tangerine Fire something. This one has buds as well, and she's a cluster bloomer because I see about a million buds here. I counted them one by one and I counted a million. So she is a tiny one, and judging by the name, probably it's orange, red, something of the sorts, because those are the colors that I like, and I like mini Cattleyas. And yeah, you guys, I was not aware she's a cluster bloomer, but I do see a lot of buds here. She's just so sweet. And that is it. These have been the orchids that I purchased from Orchid Garden 6 months ago, and this is how they're doing, and they're doing great. And I'm so happy about this one. Definitely a sweet lemony scent, so not as, I guess, sour-ish or lemony as the Cattleya japonica, but very close. If I remember correctly how the Cattleya smells, it's very close. So definitely, if you're into fragrant orchids but you like mini Cattleyas, search for this one. Mini Cattleyas generally don't have much of a fragrance because most of them are coming from the former, what's it called? Sophronides. Yeah, former Sophronides orchids, currently reclassified as Cattleyas. And those orchids are tiny, red, beautiful, but non-fragrant. So most of the tiny cats are not necessarily fragrant. This one is, though. I don't remember the parentage. I'm very curious. I'll go check it out to see which orchid gives the fragrance, but he's fragrant. And mind you, this one can produce a lot more blooms. Like if you search for the name on the internet, you will see specimens with a lot more blooms than this one. It can only get better from here. He's a young plant. So anyway, that has been it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will share with you the entire playlist of the series. I don't think like in the season 4 we have too many updates. We have more updates with the other seasons, but this season I didn't update it. I don't know why. So that's why I wanted to do this update today, but it's a good season. The Orchid Garden season, it's a good season. Look at this. Look at all of these orchids. They're so lovely. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today and learning maybe about some new orchids that you might want to have as well. I always, or for 99.9% of the time, I only order orchids that I know are good for typical home conditions, minus, you know, something like this that needs a little bit of a winter chill, which is not very hard to provide, even if you're growing inside. You know, keep it next to a window, at least at night or something. Hold off on fertilizer, you know, these type of things. I don't typically tend to order things that are not home suited because I'm a home grower as well, and I want you guys to have success with your orchids and relate to my videos, right? So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed just seeing the orchids today, and check out the description for the entire playlist, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!